What is going on? Happy Monday. Happy fight week. UFC 298, and this one is as close to a home card as we will get for us. We've got Alexander the Great Volkanovski taking on Ilia Topuria in the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. I can feel the buzz in the air. I don't know about you, but it just feels different when you know the UFC is basically in town. I wish I could just take the whole week off of work and get down there and just take it all in. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's special. I mean, we've been to obviously Vegas, but we've been to San Diego Fight Night in Cali, and it's just when it's like in your state, it just feels different. Yeah, just feels great. Wanted to get back to Sacramento. Wanted to get to LA. It's in Anaheim. Finally, yeah, I'm ready. Any card excites me, but especially when it's in Cali, I'm more excited. So I'm ready.
It's a little different. And the Honda Center, you don't think of it as like a martial arts home where there's been a lot of big fights, but I was looking back before this, and it's been a heavyweight home for big title fights. I'm just going to read off a couple notable ones that's happened there over the years. We had Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez at UFC 121. So they've been going there for a while. We had DC versus John Jones 2, UFC 241. We had DC versus Stipe 2. And then most recently, we had Cyril Gane versus Francis Ngannou. And John Jones in DC was actually 214, I want to say. I messed up on the number. But yeah, so it's always been a place where the heavyweight title fights has happened, but now we're moving down to featherweight. Not really any heavyweight title fights that could happen right now, but I am pumped regardless. This might be one of the most high-level fights that we've seen since Volk Islam. I remember we were saying the same thing back then, but we've just got two highly skilled guys. Last time we came on here, we both kind of got a little worried because we saw that the odds had gone all the way down to Volkanovski minus 115. I checked before we hopped on here today. It's evened out a little bit. Volk's back up to minus 130. Are you feeling any different about it?
I just have the same feeling, bro. I don't know. It's kind of one of those ones where, as a betting mind, if I see Volk minus 130 versus anyone at featherweight, I want to take it. But like we talk about all the time, you don't want to be too late and miss somebody. Kind of just like how Islam used to be minus 155 at lightweight. Izzy used to be minus 150, 155 in middleweight. So I don't want to miss it and be like, and look back 2 years from now and be like, damn, remember when you could have got to Poirier underdog money and now he's fucking minus 250? So it's hard. You always want to be early than late, but I mean, look at it. I mean, look before, like all the last two fights, Sugar's been underdog. Not going to happen anytime soon. So I don't know. From a betting standpoint, it's hard because I want to bet Volk. If you see Volk minus 130 at featherweight, you want to fire it. But also, like, we've seen how this happens in the UFC. I mean, history shows, like, you don't decline slowly. You decline right away and you hit a cliff. So I don't know. I feel the same as I did last week, but I can't tell you who I'm going to bet on. What I'm going to bet on, I still got to get in the film room and watch before we get back on here later in the week. But yeah, I'm just conflicted, kind of my heart and my brain. Yeah, that's where I stand.
Yeah, bro, I'm flip-flopping a lot. Currently, I'm in Camp Volkanovski. I mean, I want Volk to win no matter what, but in terms of who I'm going to bet on, who I think is going to win, right now I'm leaning towards Volk, but I can't lie. It's changed every hour, every day, maybe even every minute. So the UFC countdown came out, I believe, yesterday or early today. Anyways, here's a video that was kind of the most notable part of it. This is Alex Volkanovski right after his fight with Islam Makhachev, his second one where he got knocked out. I think we touched on this kind of briefly, like what he said last week, but here's the video anyway.
When I was drinking, I wasn't trying to just drinking every day. So the fight, I was thinking it was the only way to step in the gear as well. Literally drank every day. And I just had to snap myself out of it. I thought this was the fight, this was it. This is why I thought that was the reason why I came. So I'm like, you know, it's meant to be. Main purpose in life is obviously right now, it's obviously my family, my fighting, and when I'm not, I can. just losing the clock time to take the call. I just feel stupid. I ain't got it. Not at all.
Oh, dude, shit's sad, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, but usually that happens after you lose. Like, this was the fight he wanted, so why was the drink? That's what I want to ask. Why was the drinking? Because up until this point, he was like locked in and he wanted this fight. So why the drinking? That's what I don't understand. He was still on top of the world.
It's crazy, bro. It really just shows how everything can look so perfect on the outside, but you really don't know what's going on inside somebody's head. I think he mentioned that he had a kid and that he had had that hand surgery after the Yair fight, so he just couldn't really train, couldn't be in camp, and that had been what's making him tick ever since he's been a professional fighter. I did hear in an interview with Megan O'Leary that dropped today, he addressed it all. He seems like he's come to terms with the fact that he knows he has to be in camp for him to be right mentally. And he said that he knows when he retires, he's going to have to find something else to fill that void. I think the words he said was to make him tick. So I really feel like Volkanovski on a full camp, getting his mind back in the right place, we are going to see the best version of him. But will it be enough to overtake Ilia Topuria, who's in his prime right now and looks absolutely terrifying? Oof.
Yeah, I think that video kind of just, because how do you come back from that? If he was doing all the stuff he was doing before the Islam fight, and then the way he lost the Islam fight, how do you come back differently after you lost? Like, it's worse than that you lost.
It is, but I feel like at least he knows that that wasn't the best version of him. Is that worse than getting head kicked, knocked out when you've had a 4-month camp and you feel like that was as good as it's going to get for you?
But now what? But now what motivates him?
That's very tough. That is a tough question. He did mention in that same interview with O'Leary that he does think he could go back up eventually, not against Islam. He'd have to fight non-title fights first, of course, but he wasn't ruling that out. I mean, he is 35 years old. I think for this fight in specific, though, Topuria talking like he's going to beat him and just kind of almost what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not even acknowledging Volkanovski's greatness, just kind of pushing it aside. I think that'll fire him up all on its own. He's honestly disrespecting the whole division. He's disrespecting Max, disrespecting Arnold Allen.
The tough thing for Volk is, and I've been waiting for this, I'm going to kind of fast forward here because I want to hear it, is you think Topuria is generational?
Yeah, bro. He is a next generation fighter. We've been on here for the last couple of years talking about how these kids are growing up, seeing Brock Lesnar, seeing Conor McGregor, seeing these big stars, fighters, seeing the glory and saying, I want that. And Ilia Topuria, he's not 100% that. He started training when he was 15. But he is still, when I think of a next generation fighter, I think of Ilia Topuria. He is extremely well-rounded, always shows up in shape. Yeah, can get you anywhere. He can finish you on the ground. He could finish you on the feet. You see absolutely no holes in his game. And I have a little example I want to show. So when he fought Ryan Hall on the Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor card, the third fight a couple of years ago, a lot of people were really big on Ryan Hall going into that. He had run through the Ultimate Fighter.
I bet on Ryan Hall.
I think he was a plus 200 dog in that fight. I think I did it. I think I did too. He was Imanari rolling into everyone. No one really had an answer for his grappling, for his heel hooks. People thought he might do the same thing to Topuria. And I have a 45-second montage from that fight just to kind of show what happened when Ryan Hall tried to do those old tactics on Topuria.
The idea behind it, he's diving, he's Bobby, who's one of the great minds in the sport. A strategy to handle. Like, look at what he's doing here. Oh, he hurt him. He hurt him.
Ilya, just keep doing this, though.
Look at this wild leg, 100%. The way he's diving, Ari roll type situation.
It's actually
but he's going for the 60. Look.
Ilya
It's like he's almost like playing. straight up assassin, right? And so timing is so odd. Like, look at this. Like, he just falls down. Oh,
there it is.
Nice hammer. Oh, big hammer fist by Topuria.
There it is.
Big shot. Oh, big shot. He might be.
So obviously
I hate watching Ryan Hall fight.
Yeah. So you see that nowadays and you're thinking, bro, what is Ryan Hall doing? That would never work in a fight. But if you go back and watch the old UFC days, like when the Gracie brothers were running shit, nobody had an answer for that. That was a foreign thing that nobody had seen. But the game has evolved slowly but surely. You saw it with what's the Gracie who fought against Jourdain? He was doing the same thing, just kept trying to pull guard and had no answers for him. Like a few years ago, or like a few months ago. Anyway, those one-dimensional, the one-trick ponies, that's a thing of the past now. Topuria is not that. He is elite everywhere. You saw it with Josh Emmett. He's mainly just a boxer wrestler. Two-trick pony, I guess you could say. That wasn't enough to take out Topuria. Bryce Mitchell, elite grappler, elite jiu-jitsu, had made a lot of people look very stupid on the ground. Topuria bodied him on the ground and on the feet as well. I almost compare him to Jackson Storm in Cars 3. I don't know if you've seen Cars 3, but he's the new next generation.
That's my favorite Pixar Disney movie, Cars.
Okay. So in the third one, Lightning McQueen, he's older in his career. Everyone knows he's the GOAT, like 7-time champ or something like that. But all these new cars are coming out. They just have new technology. They grew up on the simulator, training, learning all the ins and outs. Just, I don't know. You build off of the people that you learn from. So like in basketball, for example, the guys today are obviously more skilled than the guys in the 90s because they had the guys from the 90s to learn on. I think we're seeing that with Topuria right now. This is kind of long-winded.
So is Volk a guy from the 90s?
That's the thing, dude. I think Volk's a hybrid of that because even in that Max trilogy, it looked like Volk was a new generation for Max. He was just a step more advanced, a step faster. So I believe that Volk isn't exactly like a 90s guy, but he's not quite as advanced in terms of like that sounds weird. He's not as new as Topuria, I guess you could say. Anyway, I just had that on my mind. Wanted to throw that one out there.
I see you, bro. I'm with you.
It's going to be exciting, bro. In these next 10 years, we're going to see kids with ridiculous skills that we can never even comprehend.
I agree. This past weekend, we had Jack Hermanson versus Joe Pyfer. Jack Hermanson wins via unanimous decision. We were both big on Joe Pyfer. Turns out he just wasn't ready. Jack Hermanson wins unanimous decision.
I just got to stop going out on limbs like that and saying I'm really confident in a fighter because whenever I do, I think I just put a curse on them and they're not going to win no matter what happens unless his name's Sean O'Malley. But yeah, Pyfer started off well. First couple rounds, he was controlling the fight, landing the more damaging shots. But as time went on, Hermanson just started to find the rhythm. His leg kicks started to affect Pyfer's movement a little bit. Hermanson just was more of a veteran in there, more crafty. I knew that he did have the fight IQ advantage and probably the cardio, but I thought Pyfer was such a powerhouse that it just really wouldn't matter. And Pyfer would be able to get him out of there in under 2.5 rounds. So I was a big fat loser on that bet. Hermanson did call out Imavov after the fight, so I think that that's a solid matchup to make. May as well making the job easy on us. They're on similar timelines, just one. And then I can't lie, this one's a little lazy, but I said we could just have Joe Pyfer fight Roman Dolidze.
Yeah, like that.
Little tournament. Why not? I mean, it's easy. They're on the same timetable. They're in similar spots in the rankings. I think it just makes sense. And then I was also wrong in the co-main event. Dan 50K Ige with a great knockout over Andre Touchy-Feel. He just sat down on a right hand and put him to sleep. I was happy to be wrong here.
He has that.
Yeah, man. Dan Ige just gets it done. I forget what your exact quote was when you predicted Ige on last week's show. You just said something like, when you don't expect him to do it, he does it. And that is what he did here, bro. I was fully
They'll have, like-
expecting this fight to go to
He'll have like a
decision.
really bad loss, and then you'll be like, then you're off him, and then he comes back and he gets a crazy win. It's just like not a crazy win, but like a win you don't expect him to get, and it's just like he never goes away.
Yep, kind of like your guy Michael Johnson.
Shut up, Michael Johnson. Let's get back to the blackjack table this summer, baby. Let's go.
Come on, we'll see him there end of summer or
Yeah, we're there. We're there.
International Fight Week.
We're there.
Dan Ige called out Diego Lopes. I know Lopes is booked against Sodiq Yusuff on 300, but maybe Ige gets the winner of that.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
I think he called for the Sphere in September.
Hello.
Fighters are already signing up for that one.
I
Same
know,
thing they were
guys are.
doing with 300, bro.
Yeah,
The Sphere.
Yeah.
Dana
Yeah.
gets me fired up when he talks about the Sphere, bro. Was a funny fucker.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dana talking, there was a lot of people speculating that the UFC would drop the UFC 300 main event on Super Bowl Sunday. I myself did not believe this because
So why did you not think? I know you're gonna say, but like, why not?
it cost $7 million for a 30-second ad slot on the Super Bowl. And the UFC already has all of their fans chomping at the bit, checking Twitter 30 times a day for this news. So I don't think they really just want to throw $7 million down the drain when it's an announcement that they're already going to have all the eyes on.
Yeah. I trying to pull it up here. I had something about that.
Yeah, it's not looking too promising right now, man. Dana was on the Full Send pod saying as of now they still do not have the main event confirmed.
So I had this. According to Ariel Helwani, the UFC's top choice for UFC 300 main event is Leon versus Hamzat. Other bouts in contention include DDP versus Izzy, DDP versus Hamzat, Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. The current holdup is Hamzat's lack of ability to fight in the US. So what's looking like to me is they want Hamzat to main event 300 somehow, some way, whether it's for the welterweight belt or middleweight belt. He's just that guy, I guess. But
Yeah.
but that's what it's looking like. So I think Leon Edwards does end up headlining this. If it's versus Bilal, I don't know if that moves the needle for me.
No.
It's got to be DDP versus Izzy, bro.
Yeah.
I think the only thing holding that up is Izzy. I think if Izzy calls right now and says I'm ready, that's the fight to make 100%.
I wonder if they are both ready for that one, and that's just kind of the backup, and they're hoping that something crazier could happen.
But you would want
Because-
Izzy.
Yeah, DDP Izzy probably is bigger than Hamzat Leon.
Yeah.
I'm still holding out hope that Dana and McGregor and Chandler in the UFC are doing a good old-fashioned WWE style work, and they're just playing everyone. And they have the announcement all ready to go. But that's some shit that they would have done on the Super Bowl. If it was a McGregor comeback, that would have been worth it $7 million. I still just want it to be that, bro. I feel like it has to be. Not that I'm saying I think it will be, but a guy can hope.
Yeah. Interesting, man. Interesting. I know we got a couple things for what the fuck of the week, so.
Yeah, we got a couple solid ones, and we didn't even have to do anything stupid this week. Someone else did. So, first off, we'll go Sean Strickland first. This one, he didn't really do anything stupid, to be fair. So, there's this streamer influencer guy named Sneeko who, from my understanding, pretty much got in touch with Strickland, said he wanted to spar him. He would pull up to the gym. Strickland said yes. And here's the video.
Fall down. That's good grappling. Heavy shots, man.
Bro. He just turns into a different animal like when that shit, like, he had no remorse.
And there was so that I cut the clip up, So that was the 3rd minute of the round. And for the first 3 minutes, he was just walking towards Sneeko, didn't throw one punch, and he was just talking to him like a serial killer. He's like, right at the 3-minute mark, this is going to get really, really bad for you. You're probably starting to realize right now that you cannot touch me. You can't hurt me. Nothing you do affects me in any way. And you're about to feel a lot of pain, and that reality is setting in. And then right when it hits 3 minutes, he just starts going nuts. And that was actually Forrest Griffin that jumped in at the end and separated them. There's about 3 or 4 white towels that got thrown in.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's hard when you're just like going nuts like that, like to stop for anything.
And he should have never gotten that mind frame where he's just going nuts, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you would know better than I would know better than to spar with Sean Strickland, though, unless you want that to happen, because you know what's going to happen. Unless you're friends with him or something and he agreed that he'll take it easy on you and teach you, I think you've got to assume that a guy with some screws loose like that is going to do that. I think Sneeko knew that would probably happen. And to be fair for Sneeko, I've seen some videos of him after talking about it, and he hasn't said one bad thing about Strickland. He said, he's a hard spar. I went in there, knew that was going to happen. And I mean, he got a shit ton of views from it.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. And then there was other influencer. I think Jake Paul said he would pay Strickland $1 million, but then Strickland actually called up Hunter Campbell, asked him if he could do it, and Hunter Campbell said it's just not a possibility. So, yeah, Jake Paul just kind of throws that out there to all the UFC fighters, knowing that they can't actually accept it, and just tries to make it seem like they're the ones denying it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I agree.
Here's a heavyweight. I know we're in Anaheim this weekend, so I've got to show something for the heavyweights. Here's John Jones at a comedy show. Pretty faded.
White joke. Like, I want a white guy to give me the best.
Well, I'll do a rebuttal to
It's been
Ian.
so
I'm a
many
good white
years.
joke.
I want my friends to give me one.
Hey.
Guys, give it to him.
Hey.
Give it to him for a good black joke.
Huh?
I was saying, guys, give it to him for a good black joke.
Give it to, yes, everybody give it to me right now. So wait, how did you actually stumble upon this place? Are you like just blackout drunk?
Well, my Kiwi over here was just the resource of everything. That's awesome.
Are you sure this is alcohol or is it?
Are we? Is this what you do for a good time? No, honestly, I'm trying to find the amusement in it, and you guys have been awesome.
Can we all
But honestly, no, you guys have been funny so far.
I just want to see the guy fight, man. I mean, you want to see him get better. You really do. And it's not like we don't go out and get drunk and act like fools sometimes. But I mean, to get to that level in a public setting when you're the heavyweight champ of the world and you know there's cameras on you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just got to smarten up about it eventually.
Yeah. Tough, man. Tough. Yeah. What a week, though. What a weekend start. We'll be back on Wednesday?
Yep, whichever one works best for you. I'm down for either one. All right, let's go back on Wednesday. You'll be in the quarterfinals of your playoff bracket, hopefully. Let's go North Stars. We the North, moving all the way to the Central Valley section championships, and then maybe California after that. Any Super Bowl analysis before we get out of here?
Gotta go 1-0.
Got a quick word on it?
Patty is MJ.
Whoa. MJ. So Tom's Bill Russell?
Patty's, yeah. Tom's MJ. Patty's maybe Kobe, but I think Patty's really like Michael Jordan, bro.
Patty's like LeBron, but with a better finals record.
I don't think he's Michael Jordan, bro. I think Tom Brady is Tom Brady. I think Patty is Michael Jordan.
Okay. He does have that aura, bro, where you just know he's not gonna lose, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, I was watching that with my cousin, who's a diehard Niner fan, so I was rooting for the Niners as well. And we just both knew he was pretty sad halfway through the fourth quarter because you could just kind of feel what was gonna happen. And right when the Niners got a field goal, right when they brought out the kicking unit, you knew that the Chiefs were going to go score a touchdown. I wish San Francisco would have gone for it on fourth down. Obviously, hindsight's 2020, but when you got Mahomes on the other side of the ball and your defense had been kind of reeling later in the game, they played great in the first half, but they just kind of cracked eventually.
Yeah.
All right, then we'll be back here on Wednesday. Maybe we'll hit y'all with a live show on Saturday on the Instagram from the Honda Center if ticket prices go down enough too. All right. Till next week. Doses.